Imagine, dear listeners, a mystery that spans centuries, shrouded in secrets and symbolism that challenge even the most cunning minds. Today, we delve into the esoteric origin and the enigmas of the Templars on the spiritual path. Prepare yourselves for a profound and revealing journey, where we will uncover the hidden layers of this mystical order. The Templars, officially known as the Order of the Poor Knights of Christ and the Temple of Solomon, were born in 1119 from a small group of knights. These men stood out not only for their bravery on the battlefields of the Crusades, but also for their spiritual devotion and ascetic discipline. Contrary to what many might imagine, the founding of the Templars was not merely a military act, but a profound movement of spiritual and esoteric character. Their emblem, two knights mounted on a single horse, symbolizes humility and poverty, reflecting their vows of simple life and unwavering dedication to the service of God. The esoteric aspect of this order begins to unfold when we analyze the duality present in their symbolism. As knights, they represented military strength, but in the spiritual realm, they signified the union of the material with the divine, of the body with the soul, in a holistic vision of the human being. As we delve deeper into the organizational structure of the Templars, we find something peculiar. Unlike other medieval orders, the Templars had a hierarchy that echoed the mystical teachings of Hermeticism and alchemy, notoriously esoteric concepts. These secrets and hidden practices were passed internally, from master to apprentice, in secret rituals that continue to fascinate scholars and curious minds to this day. Jean de Saint Clair, a notable Templar of the 13th century, said that the Templars sought the Philosopher's Stone, not to transform lead into gold, but to transmute the human soul. This symbolic Philosopher's Stone would be the key to spiritual enlightenment, elevating the individual to a higher state of consciousness. Such a quest reflects the intersection of the Templars with the precepts of Kabbalah, a Jewish esoteric school that was known in medieval Europe but veiled from the common eye. Ask yourselves, what led these holy warriors to engage with esoteric traditions? The answer may lie in their initial mission, which transcends the protection of Christian pilgrims in the Holy Land. The Templars envisioned Jerusalem not just as a geographical location, but as a metaphor for the spiritual center, a state of being where the human becomes one with the divine. This ideal was, to some extent, fueled by their coexistence with various cultures and religions in the Middle East. Contact with Muslim Sufi mystics, Kabbalist Jews, and Gnostic Christians expanded the spiritual horizons of the Templars, leading them to an esoteric syncretism. More intriguing still is the Templar Codex, a set of secret texts and teachings that cross realms of philosophy, magic, and religion. One of these texts, whose existence is claimed by several scholars, is the Liber Ordinis Templi, or the Book of the Order of the Temple. This supposed manuscript would contain revelations about mystical practices, meditations, and rituals intended to awaken and channel divine energy. One of the most enigmatic rituals described is the Grail meditation, where the Templars sought, through intense contemplation, to obtain visions and insights that transcend time and space, connecting to the higher spiritual plane. The life of the Templars reflected the duality of the warrior mystic. Each Templar castle was a microcosm of their order, where daily practices, from prayer to battle, were laden with symbolism and ritual. At dawn, the knight would face the east towards the rising sun and perform prayers that, according to accounts, included words and gestures of mystical origin. This act reminded them of the impulse to return to the initial source of all light and knowledge. Let us now imagine a young squire, newly integrated into the order, beginning his journey. He would be initiated in a ceremonial process that would evoke not only commitment to the Templar cause, but a spiritual rebirth. He would go through a series of trials, both physical and spiritual, designed to purify and strengthen the body and soul. In one of these trials, he would face moments of isolation, deep meditation, and internal confrontation, a journey into his inner world to achieve harmonization between light and shadow, good and evil. Besides their spiritual practices, the Templars are widely known for their military feats and the tragic downfall that led to their abrupt end. But there is an esoteric aspect to this fall. In 1307, by orders of King Philip IV of France and with the consent of Pope Clement V, numerous Templars were arrested, tortured, and executed on a Friday the 13th, a milestone that fuels the mysteries around this date. However, the alleged reasons for their fall, accusations of heresy and immoral practices, conceal suspicions that such accusations were an attempt to eliminate the order and seize their vast treasures and knowledge. In this context, the figure of Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Templars, becomes fundamental. Before being burned at the stake, he cast a curse that was said to affect both King Philip IV and Pope Clement V, both dying mysteriously shortly after. This narrative is not just a historical anecdote, but an echo of the mystical knowledge the Templars held and the spiritual power that emanated from their order. The Templar treasures and secrets seem to have disappeared, but what if this esoteric knowledge was not hidden in vaults or caves, but transcended in the form of teachings, rituals, and traditions passed on to other secret groups over the centuries? An example is Freemasonry, which many believe inherited some aspects of Templar knowledge. In Masonic rituals, we find symbols such as the Temple of Solomon and the initiatory degrees that echo Templar practices. The very structure of Masonic lodges reflects the quest for spiritual improvement and enlightenment, being a continuation or evolution of the practices initiated by the Templars. Let's explore a fascinating hypothesis. What if the Templars were in search of the Holy Grail, not as a physical object, but as a symbol of spiritual completeness and the immortality of the soul? The Grail would then be seen as a state of being, a degree of awareness achieved through self-knowledge and intense spiritual practice. In this vision, the true quest of the Templars was for union with the divine, for the realization of the higher self. Reflect on the timeless message that the Templars' journey leaves us with. In a world full of chaos and battles, they sought to maintain a balance between the physical and the spiritual. Their story reminds us of the importance of not neglecting either aspect. Just as the Templars combined martial discipline and spiritual fervor, we are encouraged to find balance in our lives, to unite spiritual practice with our daily activities, to seek enlightenment amid our daily occupations. As we conclude this fascinating journey, I invite each of you to meditate on the integration between the mundane and the divine, the material and the spiritual. May the story of the Templars inspire us to explore our own internal quests, to challenge our own enigmas, and to seek the grail of our being. Remember, my friends, that true enlightenment does not reside in external theories or symbols, but in internal transformation, in the awakening of our own divine essence. I deeply thank each of you for accompanying me on this journey through the mysteries and teachings of the Templars. May we tread our own spiritual path, always seeking to harmonize our being and drawing closer to our greater truth. Until next time, and may the light of knowledge continue to guide your steps.